Welcome back to Dance Studio Owner Life Coaching. Today we are continuing in our series called The Life That We Build. And I'm excited today to have Connie O'Reel joining me. And we are going to be talking about love and marriage while also owning a business. So, Connie, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Ginger. Thanks for having me. I'm good. I'm excited to be here and, like you said, talk all things love and marriage and how we
Yes.
manage that with doing what we do as dance studio owners.
Absolutely. Before we started recording, we were talking about how this is actually recital season. So it's a perfect time to talk about these relationships because it puts that strain right there at this time. So, um, before we get into our conversation, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself and your studio?
Yes, of course. So I'm Connie O'Reel. I am on season 20 with my studio. So I'm located in the suburbs of Chicago. We have one location in Tinley Park, Illinois, and we just recently opened our second location this past January in Frankfurt. So each location is about 15 minutes apart. We have about 500 students, so we are booked and busy and we are in the season right now.
Yeah, yeah. Now, how long have you been married?
We will be married for 16 years this August.
Okay, all
So
right.
I did have the studio before we even started dating, actually.
Okay. So he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, I always joke because I don't cook, right? Like dinner, we don't do dinner as dance studio owners because we're always teaching at night. So it's always been like a running joke in our marriage that he's the cook. I don't cook, and if I cook, it's terrible. So you knew that when you signed up for this.
Right, right. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Um, so how did your relationship, since it came after, how did being a business owner impact your relationship when you were just starting out, just dating?
Yeah. So funny thing is there's actually where the studio was located, there was a bar next to the studio. So I would teach class all night and then he'd meet me there and we would hang out. That's how we dated. Because again, timing is not great when you own a dance studio and you're in the very beginning years of it. You're teaching all those classes every night, but we really wanted to spend time together, so we made it work. I was very proud of what I did, and I was proud to be standing next to me during all of that. But the longer we've been together and the more that we've really gone through all this, he's an integral part of the success that the studio is. Having him there by my side. In the beginning, it was more the emotional support, kind of figuring out this crazy life that we live and how he could help. And now, as we've grown bigger, he's doing things in the buildings. He's building the studios for me. So he's definitely an integral part of why we are where we are today.
Yeah. Okay. It's good to hear that he's an integral part and supportive because I know so many people don't have that. Um, they don't have that. Is there something you think that creates a space where he feels welcome to be a part of the studio and as a supportive thing? Like, is there
Mhm.
something you think that kind of made it so that he wants to be there?
That's a tough one. Truthfully, I think he's just a good guy with a big heart. So he
Yeah.
always wants what's best for others. Um, and it's not an ideal situation for him, right? His wife's never home at night. He works during the day. As we've grown and now that I'm in season 20, I am home a lot more, but in the beginning years that was tough. So just kind of I think us matching well, right? So me
Mm,
finding that like yin to my yang, somebody who was willing to kind of go with the flow. I'm definitely not a go with the flow person. I'm a very type A person. So I live very scheduled. There's a rhyme to every reason and everything that I do. And he was just more of a, hey, like we'll handle it as it comes.
yeah.
So I think that's a huge part of the balance for us. And the thing that just makes it work for us. His
Yeah.
easygoing nature, I think.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges of balancing marriage and business ownership?
Oh gosh. I think as I mentioned, I'm type A. So I'm also very high strung and can kind of shoot off, when tensions are high
Yeah.
and you try not to bring it home, but it comes home with you, unfortunately. You're the day-to-day life when we're like at the beginning of competition season or if it's recital time and I don't even have time to breathe. He he's last on the list, right? And so then that puts a strain on your marriage. It's not intentional and there's nothing that anyone does on purpose, but he's stressed because the normal me that he gets on the everyday is not the same. And then I'm stressed with all the things going on, and you naturally just take it out on the person you love, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, those stressful times seem to be our times where we have to stop and go, wait, it's competition time, it's recital time. This is why we're kind of bickering or, blowing up over things that would never bother us on a typical day.
Yeah. Have there been moments when the studio negatively impacted your relationship?
I don't know if there's a specific moment. I think the biggest thing is like a constant circle for us is that he'll tell me that he feels like he's my employee. So when things
Mm.
need to get done around the studio and I'm just shooting at the hip for everybody, hey, to my operations manager, I need that recital checklist. And to the office manager, I need those accounts. And to him, it's like, hey, the yoga ball thing is falling off the wall. I need you to fix it. And so when you're really in it, he starts to feel like, hey, is this all I do? I'm just like your errand boy. But
Yeah.
and he said that to me, and then I have to check myself and say, hey, I really appreciate. I know you're supporting me and you're doing this because you love me. And I think too, figuring out what your love languages are is a huge thing. I know there's that popular book out there,
Yeah.
but he is very much an acts of service. So
Mm.
it's important that I take the time and recognize that if he's doing things around the studio, that is him showing me that he loves me. And I have to
Yeah.
remember that and show the appreciation that he needs, as his love language. He needs to hear it and all of those things. So
Yeah.
kind of diving into who you are in the relationship and why you act the way that you do, I think is really important.
Yeah. I like how you're kind of talking about having insight into what's happening in the relationship, like almost taking a step back and really looking at what's happening. Is it outside stressors? Is it personality things? I think that's really important to really not only know your spouse, but to know yourself and how
Hmm.
you interact in that way. Um, so what is it like, and what is like, how do you actually stay connected? Um, Especially during busy seasons like recital or building a new location. Like, how do you still
Yeah.
stay connected?
I think to be honest, during those busy seasons, we're not great at it. So we really have to pour into the relationship when we're not in the busy seasons. There was some time when my kids were really little where that was even worse, right? You have these little babies running around, you're trying to manage a studio, you're trying to keep your relationship healthy. But we would schedule, and it was the most random thing, would be a Thursday night. Every Thursday night was date night. And sometimes it was a nice date night. We'd go to dinner, see a movie, something like that. And sometimes it was we're going grocery shopping to just spend time together.
Hmm.
So having that again being scheduled, having that scheduled in really did help because it gives you something to look forward to. And
Yeah.
maybe on Tuesday you're really missing your partner, but by the time you get to Thursday's coming and we're gonna go to Bed Bath and Beyond and shop for new curtains or something, but at
Yeah. I'm
least we're gonna
like,
be together and it's dedicated time and it may only be a couple hours on a Thursday night, but scheduling that time to have those connections is really important, especially when your kids are little or you're the beginning stages of their relationship.
yeah. Yeah. I do like a standing, like, it used to be like a Tuesday afternoon lunch date, but now it's kind of moved to Thursdays. Like, we're going out to eat,
Hmm.
and then we also like to watch certain shows together. We a
Hmm.
lot of times we would watch completely different TV shows, but we like the HBO series like White Lotus, for example.
Yeah.
That is like sacred time.
Yeah.
No, no interruptions, no phones. Like, we're watching this show.
And sometimes just being together is the most important thing because as studio owners, you're the most important person in the studio to everybody else. So I think sometimes they just need to know that, hey, they're still your number one, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, how do you handle disagreements or stress when the business pressure comes home with you?
Oh my gosh. Again, I don't know that we're the best example for this. Um, we are both pretty hot-headed. So like we do have blow-ups. Like we are like very vocal. But then I think even through the years we've realized we just need to take that time and like we need to walk away, calm down, and then we come back to it. And sometimes it may happen in the moment, but we'll walk away and it's that scheduled Thursday night where I'm like, hey, where we were talking about this, like I'd like to kind of dive in now that we're calmer and we can have a real conversation about it where we're not just shooting those angry moments or those stressful things or that high,
Yeah.
high intensity things that sometimes you both just, you're not even listening to each other. You're just stressed and you're just trying to get it out. And sometimes, honestly, just getting it out makes you feel better. You just have to say it, get it off your chest,
Yeah.
and then we can move on. But the things that are a little bit tougher or deeper, it's like we both know that we need to walk away and we'll come back at a better time.
Yeah. Have you put in place any boundaries that help protect your marriage?
I don't know if it's necessarily boundaries. Um, I think it's definitely helped strengthen our marriage, giving him kind of his own roles in the studio and the things that, like, he's the prop guy, right? And so now we've kind of made that his thing, and he's got a group of guys that rally around, and they've kind of found their part of the studio too, and everybody kind of has ownership of it. And like when we built that second studio, it's funny, we're older now. So the first studio, I've actually moved a couple times. So the first studio was when we were started dating, and then that was already there. The second move, he built the entire three studios for me. He is a construction worker, so
Oh,
he's really good with
cool.
his hands. So him and his group of buddies from work, like pizza and beer, when you're moving, they built that whole second location for me. And then this time we're like, we're old and tired to be building the the new space. So we did end up hiring contractors and going that route. But at the end of the day, when things needed to get done and the contractors still hadn't handled it, he's the guy who steps up and he takes care of it. So, that's his role in the studio. He's very proud of it. And it's nice to kind of give him that foot in the business. And I always remind him, although I started this business, it is now our business. At the end
Mm,
of the day, like this is something that we've built together. And I think you have to continually remind them of that because they don't necessarily feel that it is theirs, right? Like it's yours, or if you started it together, it's dance. He doesn't dance. He doesn't want any part of dance. Um, but it's still something that he's been an integral part of behind the scenes and in building it and just being there for me to support me in the crazy dreams. Cause I'm gonna go, okay, we're gonna do something next. Guess what we're gonna do? I was thinking, and he's like, oh gosh, don't say you were thinking. Like what's about what?
oh.
Um,
um,
just reminding them, I think, yeah.
yeah. I know one thing that people struggle with is they feel that they can't really talk to their spouse about the business because they feel like they don't understand. Do you also find ways to surround yourself with other people as a sounding board about business outside of talking to your spouse?
hmm Yeah, there was a time period too, and I know we all go through it as studio owners where you have, I like to call it a mutiny, where a whole group of dancers is leaving and they're going to another studio. And for them, well, in my situation specifically, men I find try to fix it, right? They are
Yes.
fixers, and sometimes women, we just need to like talk about it.
Mm.
So for a while there, when I would talk about those situations, he would tell me, I'm frustrated because I can't help you. Like, I can't fix this for you. Like,
Yeah.
this is the answer. They're not good people, or they've made a bad decision, or whatever the case was at the time. And he's like, I'm tired of talking about it. And so
Mm.
yeah, at that, he's
Yeah.
like, you're not listening to what I'm telling you, and I'm tired of hearing the same stories over and over again. So I've kind of stopped. He doesn't hear a lot of that drama anymore. Men, they don't like drama, or any partner, right? Certain partners, my husband specifically, does not like to hear about all the drama. It's exhausting for him. So I do. I have, my best friend. She's also a dance teacher. She hears all of that. My mom, my sister, they'll kind of help me work through the emotions of the studio more or less. And I know that he's the person, if he can fix it, if he can help me find a solution, he's the guy that I go to.
Yeah. Mm. What advice would you give to studio owners whose spouses may not fully understand the demands of the business?
I think with any job or any career, you're never really going to fully understand what they do, right? Or
Yeah.
what you do as a studio owner. So I think you just have to figure out how you can support them, and for the partner, have them support you. So just say, I don't need you to fix this for me, or I do need your help here. And so that they do feel a part of it, because our day-to-day lives, if you're going to have a strong relationship, whether you're a studio owner or a doctor, an attorney, I think it's good for your partner to kind of know where they fit in, and maybe they are a sounding board, or maybe they are, the hands-on part of it, but just finding the place that you guys can support each other and what you both do for a career.
Yeah. You had mentioned earlier about like using the love languages to help better understand each other. Are there any other tools out there that you found kind of help with that, kind of how to connect and understand your partner better?
I think um, also knowing your partner's language of communication, right? So sometimes maybe it's easier to send a text message where they're going to hear what you have to say if it's in writing, right? And sometimes there's conversations that you need to sit down and have. So understanding where your partner communicates best, and so that when those times do get tough, you can say, hey, I'm just going to shoot him a text and then we can talk about it later so that he has time to digest, he has time to listen or hear without me just talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, what do you wish you had known earlier about love, partnership, and entrepreneurship?
I wish that I would have really thought about how my dreams were going to affect somebody else's life. I think sometimes there is a layer of guilt that like everybody is just living this life that I've created. So I try my best to make sure that I'm still being a good mom and I'm still being a good wife. And yes, dance is a huge part of my life, but it doesn't have to be a huge part of theirs if they don't want it to be. I do prioritize like our family vacations. We do a lot of traveling with dance at our studio, but I prioritize one vacation a year that has nothing to do with dance. And we try not to talk about it. We don't talk about dance. We don't do anything with dance. It's really
Yeah.
just the O'Reel family vacation where I get to be the wife and the mom that I wanted to be, that there was no studio. But
Hmm.
yeah, just making sure that the life that I want to live is not the life that everybody else has to live.
Yeah.
Putting those parameters in place.
Do you have any favorite moments with you and your husband doing things together with the studio?
Um, I do. I mean, building the studios themselves, there's great stories there. And it was really, especially that second one where we did do everything ourselves. Like that was probably the best teamwork that we've ever had in our
Mm-hmm.
relationship, just working together and communicating there. Um, Now it is fun. He gets to travel. Like I do also include him on those. If I go to conferences, he's coming with me, right? Because if he's doing the other side of the work, he's doing all
Right.
that tough stuff. He's building it. He's listening to me, all the drama and all the things. But he never gets to go and, meet the people that I talk to all the time or take that extra time
Yeah.
to just go and travel and listen to what the other side of the dance industry has to say. So I think it's important too to just include them in the good stuff too, not only in the tough stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just our favorite, like looking back and just seeing what we've created and just, I don't know, really just letting him know like you are a part of everything that we are today.
Hmm. So as we wrap up this episode, do you have any final thoughts about, like we kind of started with the balance of marriage and the business? Any
Yeah.
final thoughts about that you would want to put out into the world for others to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have mentioned it a couple times, but the long and short of it is just make sure that you're the partner or the spouse that you would be without the dance studio um, in your relationship with the business, right? So if you can look at your life and say, if the dance studio wasn't a part of it, how would I be a partner to my partner? How would I be a good wife? How would I be a good mom? And if you're lucky enough to have somebody that supports you through all of it, be really grateful because they didn't sign up for it and make sure that you show them the appreciation that they deserve. And I mean, I can say this, right? And I have to do a self check every now and again and say, hey, are you really showing him that you're so grateful? Because there are a lot of partners and spouses out there who don't support it and it ends up being the end of the relationship, right? So I'm super lucky that I have that. And if you do have that, I think just be so grateful and let them know. And if you're finding yourself struggling, maybe take that extra moment and write them a note, leave it on their car seat, and just say, hey, thanks for always having my back.
Hmm. Those are some great final words, Connie. I love
Thanks.
that. Be the spouse that you would be even without the studio. I like that a lot. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, thank you so much. If people want to find more about you online, where can they find more about you and your studio?
I'm not big in socials. I try to keep my life kind of sort of private, but my studio is Southwest Synergy Dance. So our website is swsynergy.com. I love to share all of my past 20 years of knowledge with everybody, and just especially in balancing being a mom and a wife and all that, because it's tough. And I think any advice that I can give, if I can help anyone just a little bit, I appreciate, being able to do that. So thank you for having me today, Ginger.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. And listeners, we're going to go ahead and put her website down in the show notes so that you can check out her studio. And with that, I say until next time, I wish you the best.
Bye bye.